my goodness gracious, Juanito. What happened right now? Can you tell us what happened right now? So this is our second episode really quick. Tonight. So we're gonna be what happened right now, Juan?
You forgot to plug in the microphone to the camera.
Jesus heavens. I can't believe that. that was a big fail.
Irresponsible.
Yeah, I know. By the time the camera shut off, we realized that it wasn't recording on the camera. But anyways, it's not what I'm here to gripe. I'm not here to talk about that. What I wanted to talk to you about was so recently, as we've been doing this, what is this episode? What, 7, 8?
No, not that
6?
many. No, this is.
What are we on?
This is probably 5.
All right. So anyways, today's date is April 6th. That means we have been, quote unquote, self-isolating, social distancing, quarantine for the last, what is it now? 20 days?
Mm-hmm. I haven't been counting really. I don't know
how long it's been, but it's been a while. But anyway, something has been emerging. Okay. So here's a fight lately we've had. We've had the conversation about spending money where?
At the grocery store.
At the grocery store. So I'm going to admit something right now that I'm kind of ashamed to admit, because I thought to myself, that cannot be true, but I need all these things. Anyway, we were at HEB and we were getting things together for our stay, our lock-in basically. And oh my God, I spent $400. And that was just at one grocery for one grocery run. Now, mind you, about $100 worth was actually just a baking sheet or soap and playing cards and Uno and it was like beer and alcohol and stuff like that. You know what I mean? About $100 worth was of that, and $300 worth was of actual groceries, like things that we were going to consume. That was not beverage alcohol or, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff. And I just kind of while we were at the grocery store, you kept telling me, and I got so annoyed at you. You kept saying, Angelica, don't you think you're overdoing it? Angelica, don't you think you're overdoing it? And I was and to the point where I just became so erratic, where I couldn't think anymore. And I no longer was thinking of the way I was moving and maneuvering, right? Because I have to mentally prepare. And then so I felt like I broke for a moment, because I kept looking at you and you kept looking at me. That face that you're giving me right now, I wish people could see that. Make the face that you were just look at the camera and make the face at it, please.
I wasn't making any face.
Yes, you were. He was like this. He kept doing that face. If you're not recognizing what I'm doing, it's where you lift one up lip and then you slant your eyebrows, right? To that confused. There it is.
Because at one point you were I'm you already have 5, 6 types of crackers in the car, and I'm why do we need so many different types of crackers in the car? I'm
the cart.
In the cart. I was why do we need so many of them? Why do we need so many different crackers? So I was because you got the regular saltine, then you got the water ones, and then you got the fancy ones, and then you got some other ones and other ones, and I was
only 3. It was only 3. Oh, then it was the butter.
I was what are we gonna be doing?
Cracker.
We're gonna have a party, we're gonna have a cookie party, or we're gonna have a cookie dinner, or what the hell? And then we got chocolate chip cookies, and I was when do we ever buy chocolate chip cookies?
Oh my God, I was just so in the mood for somebody who was not ever in the chocolate chip. Who ate them?
I only ate a couple of them.
Liar! Oh, you're such a liar.
I only ate a couple of them.
No, Juan, I walked in. I left the bag here. I walked back in here. Tell me why there was one cookie left. No, actually, that was Edgar. But I walked back in here and half of the bag was left. And then I took the bag with me. I put it on the counter. And then there were 6 cookies. And then all of a sudden the bag disappeared. And it disappeared in Edgar's room. And there was 5 cookies less. And I had 1 cookie. I was so mad at that, because I was oh my God, these cookies were supposed to be. But you did. So I was griping
about. I don't care about cookies. If you buy ice cream, that's where I'll eat the ice cream.
Yeah.
But
so
the cookies, I'm eh.
Okay. But now looking back at it, did you see what happened with the food? Do you understand how much we consume? Now, you're not used to me buying that many groceries, because we typically don't eat here at the house. So we might eat maybe either half or less than half of the time here at home. right? And this was before all of this happened. The rest of the time we ate out. I mean, and mind you, I didn't want to do a bunch of like fast food restaurants. Like I never do like just tacos and stuff like that. Like I usually, like as a family, I liked sometimes to go to a sit down restaurant and have a sit down meal between all of us at a table so we can talk. If we can't do that at home, I was perfectly fine spending an extra $5-10 to be able to do that somewhere else. And all three of us really enjoy going to restaurants. I think at this point we're very familiar with like what we like and the atmosphere that we enjoy when we go to certain restaurants and all of that stuff. And so, but I couldn't get you when I was purchasing that much food and you kept looking at my cart and you kept like, you gave me those judgmental, like those facial expressions. And I was like, stop it. And I was like, I got to go get this. And you're like, Angelica, you're overdoing it. Angelica, you're overdoing it.
So are you just bringing me on here to like chastise me or what?
I'm not. I really am not. And can you like be specific? Like how much of that food have we gone through?
I don't know. I think like a good portion of it, but I mean, I think. Yeah, I mean, like a good portion of it, we've gone through that.
Okay, but here's the thing that we actually.
It's not that I didn't expect that we were going to go through the food. I was just like, we could probably make another run before.
No.
Before
there's no need.
Like we don't have to buy for 2 weeks. We can buy for 1 week and then come back. For another week.
The food doesn't even last 2 weeks. It turns out that we're going to the grocery store every 10 to 12 days. So every week and a half.
Something like that,
right? But I there's no need for us to keep inundating. Excuse me. There's no need for us to keep inundating grocery stores when we don't have to. If we don't have to be there and we can make one run and be there for like the first time I went grocery shopping, I was in and out of the store in 30 minutes. But every time I kept turning back to you, I kept losing like concentration as to what I was doing because I kept paying attention to the way you were looking at me. And I was like, damn it, he's judging me. And I kept trying to think into myself, like, do I really need all this? I was like, no, we need this. I know my family. I know my tiny family. And I know the kind of food that we eat and the things that we go through. And he kept trying to tell me, well, Angelica, does it have to be name brand? Does it have to be this? Does it have to be that? I was like, it's not name brand. It's just because typical food that we eat.
Corners. Like I think like anybody, like you can cut corners if you're looking at like buying things that are like not necessarily the name brand, but you can buy like the cheaper brand, or you can buy like maybe you don't need that like extra thing, or like maybe you can buy less of that.
No, for sure, for certain. But during a pandemic, you pay what there is. Like I didn't have a choice of 15 different pasta sauces. They gave me 2. And they just both happen to be expensive. Like we have less choices right now. And so based on those choices, we are very lucky with the fact that we're not in any way form fancy, nor do we have like money, nor are we like none of that. But we have right today, right here, right now, as we speak, we have the luxury of being able to purchase that food. Correct? Yeah, so I'm very grateful for that, and I understand that I can do that. I understand that I can purchase food 2 weeks in advance, that I don't have to live week to week. And if I don't have to live week to week, there's no reason for me to be in that grocery store every week, because I'm putting other people at risk along with myself. Like if I'm in the way of somebody else and I happen to like get somebody else to get closer to somebody else, and maybe that other person can be, is at risk, like there's no need for me to be there if I don't have to be there. So I see it. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm trying to like rationalize what I need to be doing. And so, and I was like, and I kept second guessing myself, thinking to myself, did I really need like $300 worth of groceries? Did I really need to do that? And I kept trying to see your side of it. No matter which way I looked at it, I was like, I can see what he's saying. But I didn't have a lot of it. I was like, I didn't have a choice. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm purchasing food again. From the last time you went, and this time I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to be smarter about it.
You're trying to forewarn me that you're going to spend more money?
No,
but I think like I mean, I think
smart about it.
No, I think the thing is like what I was saying is like, you know, you have to think about what's sustainable, and like, is a $300 food bill sustainable for, you know, a household? You know, like, I don't know that that's sustainable for very long. Especially when you're like uncertain about like what's gonna happen, like not only with the government but what's gonna happen with your own income. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like you're nothing is guaranteed.
Juan, if anything,
so my thing is like,
if anything, I'm not gonna starve my family.
So my thing is like, you know, rather than just indulge and say, you know what, I'm just gonna get all the comfort food that I want. Say no. I see what you're saying. Let's be economical. Let's be frugal. And we can survive on like until we know kind of where we're going to be. We can like try to be a little bit more lean.
So then you're saying I shouldn't have bought the cookies?
Yeah, I think you should have bought the saltine crackers, and that would have been good.
Perfect. But guess what also was in the cart?
What?
Whose 18-pack was in there? Whose comfort?
Pack. It was 12-pack.
Oh, my bad. It was still $20 worth of alcohol.
Oh, no. That was a $20 because you bought margaritas.
No. Your beer was $70.
No, it wasn't. I was very specific. I went and I bought the Tecate because it was cheaper. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy that 12-pack of Tecate because that's cheaper than
that was $3 cheaper than mine.
Than buying like, you know, a full like 12-pack of, I don't know, Modelo or something else that would have been more expensive. I was like,
my
no,
God,
I'm gonna buy,
whatever.
I'll buy the Tecate, which, you know, I can drink. I'm not a picky drinker, so like I'll drink that.
So then why didn't you go for like the cheap?
Because I don't know.
Because you still got taste?
Because I was just like, oh, like I saw it and I was like, oh, that's not a bad price for it. I'll buy that. No. So I think it's like,
oh my God, you're so unwilling to admit.
What?
You're so unwilling to admit that part of being sane right now during this time is having that comfort. It's having that comfort of like sometimes some of it is food, and I try not to do that. I try not to go towards like the comfort food a lot, you know. But this time, I have to admit that a good like maybe $30-$40 was just junk food, right? Because I tried to like cater towards the kid, which is like his hot chips, some things that I know he likes. There's really not a lot for him to look forward to, and so I did indulge in that because I knew that was gonna help him. Like just something he looked forward to.
But meanwhile, all the Maruchans that you bought are still sitting there.
Like because I don't want anybody to touch those. You haven't gone to
the Maruchans.
Those are last resort. Those are last resort food.
And we have bags of beans and we have bags of rice and we got like, so we can boil some rice, boil some beans, and like
that's not comfort food.
That is comfort food. That's
no, it's not
comfort food. Like a tortilla with beans and
to me that's not comfort
cheese, food. Make some chile and that's it. You got comfort food.
To you, maybe.
You got comfort food. You don't need like all that extra stuff, and it's healthier for you.
No, hombre, I gotta do like charro beans or something for it to be comfort food for me. Like it got to be like flavor. Like it, we gotta throw down.
You fancy?
How?
You fancy?
No,
what would you say?
Bougie.
You're bougie.
Oh my God, charro beans are bougie.
You're bougie.
But I wanted like so I did indulge a little bit in that. No,
I mean I understand that like the cost of food is going to be more expensive, but I guess. You know, since we never spend that amount of money, like when we go to the grocery store, then I was like, why are we spending
What did you say? I wanted to mention this. What did you say when we were leaving the store that people kept looking at your cart?
Okay, but this is the thing that was embarrassing because this is the stuff like this is why I was like kind of like reacting like that because first of all we had like a cart that was like full like from like everywhere you could put like anywhere it was full from top to bottom. It was like stuff to the very top.
Okay, but
and like there were like to the point also, where
we had water and drinks and alcohol.
To the point
a lot of it was drinks.
To the point where there was like meat hanging off of the sides and stuff.
There was not.
Yes, there was.
Oh my
and we were like
God.
And then second of all, we were like in the middle of like this like we were like in the middle of like some like downtown like uptown, like not uptown, but we were like in the middle of we were in the, where did we go? We went all the way to the Woodlands.
We were in the Woodlands.
So the shoppers there are not used to like seeing people shop that much. So when they were walking by the cart, like it was like
you could tell people weren't there like
you could tell it was people like that were like either had just come from a jog or were like, you know, very like mobile and like.
But those are the people that don't mind going to the grocery store every 3 to 4 days.
But they were like very like like, and so like several people, when I was standing there with the cart while you were out getting whatever you were getting and bringing back to the cart, several people were walking by and were like, "Oh my god!" They were like, "Oh my god!" And they were just looking at the cart and like
they
making.
Didn't say, "Oh my god!"
Yes,
they were just
did.
Making faces.
No, they were saying "Oh my god!" and they were like making faces, and I was like,
"Oh my god!"
And I was like, "This is embarrassing." Like, and now I'm embarrassed that I'm just like standing here with this cart, and people are like, "Why the hell is he like buying so much food? Like it's the apocalypse or something?" Like, because you hear people talking about that, making fun of people like because they're like buying all that crap.
But we weren't.
And I was like, I'm sitting here with this cart full of like
of 2 weeks.
I'm sitting here with a cart full of like food to the very brim, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell. Like everybody just looking at me like,
no,
like I'm crazy.
That's just groceries worth of 2 weeks. That was groceries worth of 2 weeks.
That was a little much for me. I was like, man.
Okay, I gotta explain the fact that about 40% of that cart was drinks. It was like alcohol and water and beer and Edgar's 12-pack of Topo Chico, and we had LaCroix, and we had other stuff in there. A lot of it was drinks, okay? And so I just started to put things on. And then, of course, when I went through the cracker section and the chips, so I grabbed a couple of bags of different chips because I wanted to drop some off to my niece and nephew. And I wanted to drop a gallon off of milk and some cereal, like comfort food for them also. Right. And so that stuff is just air in a bag with an addition of that stuff. And it was a lot of it looked like junk food, but that wasn't everything. And a lot of it would look like it was just filled with air. And so I can see what you're saying, but I have to explain the fact that no, we weren't like full to the brim where meat was like hanging off the cart. That's not true.
It was. You was at the bottom and it was hanging off the side. I was like, okay.
That's
and then
not true. You gotta stop
even
saying
the cashier.
that.
Okay, even the cashier. This is how bad it was. Even the cashier was like, whoa. Like she was yes, she did. Yes, she did. Because you were like, and then you were being extra. And you were being extra at the cashier, at the register. Like you were being extra.
I was frustrated with you.
No, but you were being extra. You were like, I don't know what you were. I don't even remember what you were doing, but I remember you were being extra.
How?
And so the lady was like, oh, because you were taking forever. First of all, like you know how the register, like they have to go to put the stuff to the stupid little conveyor belt, and then on the other end they have to they start filling bags.
You're thinking back to the moment. You're like, stupid little conveyor belt.
They put the bags on the side, and there's only a certain amount of space for a certain number of bags. Well, the poor girl that was bagging had already filled up the entire space, and she just she had to go walk and get another cart and bring it back because you were taking a long time. You were taking so long to unpack the cart that she had to go get another cart and start loading it.
You have to stop saying that. What happened
and
was,
the lady, I saw the cashier. She was like, "Oh wow."
No. So when he was frustrated at this point, and there was a few things that I needed to get at the end. I needed dishwashing soap, and I needed hand soap also. There was a few household items that we were running out of. We were running low on, and I kept trying to go get it because I was like, I'm not gonna go to another store. I'm not gonna go to Target or Walmart to get the stuff if H-E-B already has it, right? So I run to one side of the store. I was like, Juan, I need these things, and at this point I know he's upset, he's mad, he's like, oh my god, so embarrassed.
I was just like,
I'm so embarrassed.
I was not upset. I was just like,
you kept
really
giving me those. Okay, so
I was like, really? That's what my reaction was like. Really?
Here, let me explain. So I'm sitting there, and I get to I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna walk all the way over there towards him. I see one of the cashiers, and they're all open, and I walk towards it, and I have some stuff in my hand, and I motion to you to come, and you're just looking at me, and then you walk towards me really slowly, very motionless, like that, and I'm like,
I could barely move the cart. It was so full.
You're such a liar.
It was so full, I could barely move it.
No. So anyway, I put the stuff that I have in my hand on the conveyor belt, and for her not to think that that's it and just be done with it, I tell her, I was like, I have a full cart coming, and it's on its way. And she's like, not a problem, sweetheart. She goes, that's why I'm here. And I was like, okay. So I started putting things on the cart, and then as I'm doing that, the girl on the end, because she's seen that we were frustrated, and so they have these rules in place where you try not to reach over, don't get too close. They have the plexiglass up, and at this point we're frustrated with each other. We're not even thinking, so we're not even thinking of our surrounding, and we're not doing social distancing at that moment, and we start to reach over things. And then at one point the lady told me, yeah, you have to stay over there. And then the girl yelled at you, the one that was bagging the stuff, and she told you, yeah, can you step over there? Like, we were frustrating them, right? So the girl, like, she is not waiting for my cart because I'm still unloading, and I can't think fast enough as that lady is scanning things fast. Like, I can't think fast enough because I have a certain way of the way I think I put things on the conveyor belt. I'm very specific about it. And so the girl can see us, like, I don't know if she can see us bickering or looking at each other or just have this like energy. She walks away to go get another cart, and then she starts to fill the cart. That's all she did.
Yeah, and then I like went over there to try to help her, which is when she was like, "Oh, like you're supposed to stand behind the plastic."
She pointed. She was, "Can you stand over there?"
Yeah, because she said you're supposed to stand over there actually, and I was like, oh, "Okay."
I'm sorry. You said, "Okay, I'm sorry," and we were at that point. We realized that we were like, "Oh my God, this has like poured over into us, like not even thinking at this point."
But I didn't even think that. Like I didn't even think anything of that. I just thought like, "Oh yeah, like I forgot." Like I forgot that I was supposed to be behind this plexiglass, but
we had gotten so upset at each other that we had forgotten our own, like, you know, what we're supposed to be doing there. Yeah, but anyway, what I was trying to say was that, yeah, our grocery bill was like super duper high, unbelievably high. And it made me realize how much I really, really appreciate restaurants, because my bill is never that high when I go to the grocery store. Usually I'll stay like under $100. And that's every 10 days because I just get certain things to eat, like in the morning or if we're working from home. But the rest of our food bill usually goes towards restaurants. Yeah. And it's easy, fast, and very convenient to have somebody else cook the food for you. And I appreciate that.
Well, I'm not opposed to the idea of cooking more at home. I like that. I like that better than...
Sweetheart, who's doing the cooking?
I am.
What? I swear to Bob, I'm going to stop cooking, eh? I'm going to stop cooking. Who's doing the cooking?
We both are.
Juanito. Te lo seguro. I will stop cooking. Yes, of course you're not opposed to the idea of not cooking at home because you're not the one cooking. 85% of the meals cooked is by me, and of course you don't mind that.
It's better for you.
It's better for you.
It's better for your family.
Pues órale, entrale.
It's better.
I have no other reason and no other excuse to say what I need to say. But, you know, I thought to myself, so I was talking with a couple of friends. We were doing Zoom.
Rediscovering the art of cooking. That's a good thing. You
should put your hands in then.
I do. I make like a killer like papa con huevo.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I do.
No, you didn't. You just try to mimic the same thing I made the day before. Why are you lying?
And I make good pancakes.
So I thought to myself, is this really me, or is this like a thing for everybody? And I felt very ashamed and very embarrassed. And I was talking to a couple of friends on Zoom, and I said, so my bill is really high. How like, this is how much my bill was. What do you like? Is this normal? Is that how much you guys are spending? And it's kind of the same overall everywhere. Everybody has like upped their ante of like their spending by a few like monies. Like they're like up there. Like,
but how much of that? How much of what they bought was toilet paper?
I don't know. That's one thing that we're not buying. We're not overbuying, extending our buying to like toilet paper or like paper towels and none of that. As a matter of fact, I think we need to get some more paper towels at some time in the near future, because we're running low. But we were very lucky in the fact that I already purchased like big bulk toilet paper. Like that's something I already do. And you always get upset. You're like, why don't you just get the 4-pack? I'm like, for what? And we used to have that fight before. You're like, why does it have to be this big old thing that costs like $20-$30? Why can't you just get that small one? And I'm like, no, I refuse to keep coming back to the store.
But I'm the one that got the last pack, because
and I appreciate that.
Because when I went to Walmart, like they happened to have a pallet and they were like selling them, and I was like, I know we don't really need it, but I was like, I'll just buy it just in case, so because I don't know. And this was like over a month ago. And we haven't even opened that pack. So I'm like, oh, I guess it was a good thing that I bought it, because now it's like still sitting there.
The last pack that I bought, we already opened it. And that pack is going to last us about a month and a half.
So I was like, yeah, so like I think that it was like little things here and there like that. But I mean, like,
that made sense to you.
But I think people are like I don't think that like like hoarding. Like I don't think we're necessarily hoarding.
Oh, we're so far from hoarding.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I'm trying not to overbuy, because I'm trying not to let my mind take me there, is I'm trying not to overbuy on the like cleaning supplies. I'm trying not to buy too much of that, because I don't want that to be, that's always at the top of my mind. I'm always like, I need more hand soap. I need more Clorox in my stuff.
I'm surprised that people are buying. Like, I didn't realize that Lysol was for cleaning or for disinfecting.
Yeah.
It is? I thought it was just to smell.
The spray? The air spray? Yeah, that's for disinfecting the air.
Oh, really? Because they're like, some people were like, I was listening to some people that were talking about that they couldn't find Lysol and that they wanted Lysol, and I was like, why do you need Lysol? That's just like to freshen up the room. Like, why would you need that?
It's not like Febreze.
But I'm like, how are you gonna use that to spray your hands, or like you can spray your hands?
You just spray the air.
But what good is that gonna do?
It kills whatever is in the air.
Isn't it better to have hand sanitizer as opposed to that?
Well, I don't know. It all depends, I guess, where you live.
I don't know. I just thought that was weird. I was like, I didn't know Lysol was a thing.
You didn't know Lysol was a thing. But that's one of the things that I'm trying not to buy too much of. I'm trying, because I keep thinking like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. But that's because I'm letting my mind take me to that place of like, oh my God. Like, we went to go eat today at Whataburger. And I like... I know like I'm excessive when it comes to like trying to be careful about when we go out.
I did order the double meat, which I never do, but I was like, I haven't had Whataburger in a long time. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and order the double meat Whataburger.
I'm gonna get the good stuff.
I'm gonna go ahead and get it, because I don't know how long it'll be before I get it again.
Yeah, so we ordered, and I brought my own like takeout plasticware, and as soon as I told Juan to like, so we ordered, I put on my glove, and Juan handed me the bags, and I put them like at my feet. I make sure I grab them with my glove, and then I told him to come back around the Whataburger and to park in the parking lot of Whataburger. I got off, and then I started to transfer all our food into different wrappers, into different containers. I even poured out our teas and put them into bigger containers that I self-made. And put holes on the top to put our straws that I brought from home into those holes. And then I put our French fries in like Tupperware. And then I had some like old wrappers that are like picnic style, like the squares. And I put the wrapper in that so it can like simulate like the burger wrapper. Because I was like, oh, like it's gonna look funky. We put it on plates, right? Because we usually eat the burger from the wrapper. I was like, I don't want to take that away from them. So I brought the wrappers from the house and I wrapped the burger. So I'm doing all of this with like one hand, and then I accidentally touched like my hand to the food that I was trying to manipulate with just one hand, and like certain things, like I was like, damn it. And so I like pulled out my hand soap, and I pulled my gallon of water, and I started to wash my hands vigorously, like right there in the parking lot. I was like, okay, clean hands, like let's start again, let's do this like this, let's do it like this. And Juan, finally, I'm like, okay, here, Juan, here's your food. And he just like started eating his food, watching me. He's like,
I had already
by the time I was done,
food. By the time you were done, I was already finished with my food.
I know, and
because I was like, I'm not gonna like eat a cold hamburger. I'm gonna eat a cold hamburger.
Yeah,
or cold fries. So I was like, I'm just gonna eat mine. So while you were doing all that, I was eating.
Yeah, I know. I understand you like your food hot, so I didn't mind giving you your food quickly after I was done, because I made sure like I had your food to go already. But I did. By the time I was done, I think it was like 5-10 minutes in the parking lot of Whataburger. Like at some point, I think I was eventually eating soap and sanitizer. Like my hands right now are just raw from so many times that I washed my hands today, so many times that I've like wiped down things and hand sanitizer, like Clorox wipe, hand sanitizer, wash. I kid you not, I think today, within the last 2-3 hours, when we went to go get Whataburger, left the house, I think I've washed my hands about 8 different times. I've hand sanitized it about 6 times, and I've used so many wipes. But I knew that was going to happen. And that's just for I don't think it's necessary, but mentally, for me, it's necessary. Like, I don't want to worry about it when I go to sleep at night. Did I really wash that? How am I feeling? Oh my God, I don't feel well. Like, I want to be I want to have faith in myself to know that I'm trying as hard as I can. Right. But then again, I'm trying to be careful that I'm not obsessive about it.
That you washed your hands as many times as you could.
No, that I am not trying to, or that I was like, to the point where I was like, no, I'm just not going to eat my food. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I enjoyed my burger.